Go home, go home, go hard, go hard, go home, go hard, go hard, go home, go home, go hard, go hard, go home, touchdown like the end zone.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Still working on getting these videos out in a timely fashion, but forget all that for right now. Without further ado, NFL Week 3 Power Rankings. Starting off at number 32, everyone's favorite bottom feeders, the Dolphins. This team is about 2 weeks from blowing it all up. I'm going to assume that the Bills are going to make light work of them, so they should be 0-3 by the time we do this thing next week. They get the Jets after that, and if they go 0-4, it's a wrap for them. At number 31, we have the Titans. Another tough week after getting blown out by the Rams. A divisional matchup against the Daniel Jones-led Colts is low-key an upset alert in the making.
Number 30, the Panthers. Now, this team is pissing me off. I don't care about a too little, too late comeback rally in the fourth quarter. Bryce, you can't start off the game with both a fumble on your first possession and on the second possession, an interception. You just can't do that. I don't understand why they're not leaning on the run game and maybe using the screen game on offense. And on the defensive side, not finding more opportunities to play the young pass rushers that Dan Morgan drafted. As a Panthers fan,
I don't like it. Moving on.
Number 29, the Browns. Well, the Ravens aren't the Bengals, so yeah, that happened. Y'all have the Packers next, and it gets uglier after that. Number 28, the Jets. Now, I decided to put this team here because Justin Fields is in concussion protocol this week. A matchup with Tampa is already hard enough, but basically, they have no chance without Fields. At 27, we have the Bears. Caleb Williams' experience isn't going so well thus far, but there is hope because wide receiver Rome Odunze is showing his worth as a weapon for the offense. The defense still needs more work, though. A matchup with the Cowboys should lead to a shootout, but the question is, will it lead to a win?
Number 26, we have the Saints. Now, this team might be the masters of losing close. So let's see what happens next against the Seahawks.
Number 25, we have the Bengals. Now, this team is in about as terrible a position as a 2-0 team can be in. Joe Burrow suffered a major toe injury in the win against the Jaguars, and he's expected to miss 3 months, which is basically 12 weeks of the season. The Bengals have to go forward with Jake Browning until he returns. Now, Jake is a solid backup, but can he hold down the fort with a team that needs to win shootouts to win games? Time will tell. Number 24, the Vikings. The defense was solid as it forced the Falcons to make 5 field goals, but I'm back to not trusting J.J. McCarthy. Maybe he'll bounce back against the Bengals this week. Number 23, the Giants. I've held off as long as I could for an 0-2 team that came into the season with low expectations and are performing to those expectations. That was a great game against the Cowboys with Russell Wilson turning back the clock and cooking with deep passes, amassing 450 passing yards and 3 touchdowns with 123 quarterback rating. But it was all for naught because he threw a crucial interception in overtime, which led to the demise of the team. They get the Chiefs next, so I expect them to be 0-3. Number 22, the Jaguars. Losing to the Bengals after they lose Joe Burrow to an injury early in the game bothers me for the outlook of this team. The defense gave up 21 points in the second half to a Jake Browning-led offense, when Jake Browning basically had to come in and save the day. Also, it appears that Trevor Lawrence isn't quite on the same page with his wide receivers yet. This team has a crucial matchup next with the Texans. Number 21, the Raiders. Horrible performance by Geno Smith. 3 interceptions and leading an offense to 0 touchdowns. Now, you know you can't do that, Geno. Also, maybe give Ashton Jeanty more than 11 rushing attempts. I'm just saying. Number 20, the Falcons. This team got to beat up on the Vikings. There's nothing particularly impressive about that. Number 19, the Cowboys. The brightest spot on this team is the kicker Brandon Aubrey, with a 64-yard kick to force overtime and a 46-yard walk-off field goal to seal the victory in overtime. He was the MVP of the game. All praises to him. But how far can a team go if their kicker has to save the day all the time?
Number 18, the Steelers. After an impressive showing in week 1, this team wet the bed against the Seahawks in week 2. Can they bounce back against the Patriots? Number 17, the Patriots. Beating the Dolphins doesn't give you much street cred, but a win is a win. The aforementioned Steelers are next. Number 16, the Seahawks. This team bounced back from a week 1 loss by crushing the Steelers. The Steelers scored 17 points total. The Seahawks scored 17 points in the fourth quarter, turning what was a close game into a blowout. Number 15, the Broncos. This team fought hard, but couldn't quite put the Colts away. A scoreless fourth quarter led to the Colts' comeback victory. Number 14, the Colts. In a back-and-forth game, the Colts managed to shut out the Broncos in the fourth quarter while putting points on the boards themselves to steal a win. Daniel Jones continues to build upon his week 1 success. Jonathan Taylor is balling as always, and the tight end that I wanted my Panthers to draft, Tyler Warren, is leading the team in catches and yards. With all that said, however, I sense a trap game against the Titans this weekend. Number 13, the Texans. Now this team is 0-2, and I could have dropped them lower than this in the power rankings, but I still hold optimism for them. The defense has allowed the 9th least points in the league, and the combined amounts of points the Texans have lost by is 6. So that tells me that offense is the actual problem. So I looked up how many points the Texans have scored, and bingo. It turns out that they've scored the least amount of points in the entire league through 2 weeks. Now, I will say that the Rams have a formidable defense, and the Bucs have a pretty good defense as well. But C.J. Stroud has to pick up his game. The next matchup for this team is a must-win game against the Jaguars, and if Jake Browning can put up 241 yards and 3 total touchdowns against that defense, then surely C.J. can light them up. I believe in you, NFL son, so get it done. Number 12 is the 49ers. Now, y'all beat the Saints, so that's not interesting. But what is interesting is the matchup with the Cardinals this week. Going 3-0 and taking possession of the lead in the division with 2 early divisional wins is important. Number 11, the Cardinals. Now, this team finally gets a challenge after being able to feast in the first 2 weeks against the Saints and my Panthers. Beating the 49ers and going 3-0 should instill some legit confidence in this team moving forward. Number 10, the Chiefs. Now, this team is 0-2, and I can't in good conscience put them any higher than this in the power rankings. They have a must-win game against the Giants. Number 9, the Lions. Nothing like a game against the Bears to get the juices flowing again, right? Now, the next matchup is a showdown against the Ravens. Number 8, the Commanders. This team was served some humble pie in last Thursday's game. I'm not too worried about them, though, because I figured that game would go pretty much the way it did. The next matchup is against the Raiders, and that's not an easy win the way it used to be. Number 7, the Rams. This team had a layup last week and treated it as such. Next, they get their turn at a crack at the reigning champs. Number 6, the Chargers. This team is taking care of business, dispatching the Chiefs and Raiders easily, and now with a matchup with the Broncos, they have the opportunity to sweep their rivals and put an early stranglehold upon the division. Number 5, the Ravens. Nothing like a game against the Browns to get your swagger back, right? This team gets another early season test in a Monday night matchup versus the Lions. Number 4, the Buccaneers. Beating the Falcons and Texans by being clutch and closing out close games is why I had this team leapfrog into this spot of the power rankings. Number 3, the Packers. Making light work of another contending team in the conference is a surefire way to stay at the top of my power rankings. This team gets a layup against the Browns next, so it should be easy work. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. It was business as usual against the Jets. Next is the Dolphins.
Maybe the Bills spend their time this game trying to recruit Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins sure not using him.
And finally, at number 1 again, we have the Eagles. It's starting to look like Jalen Hurts just has Patrick Mahomes' number for some reason. But anyway, another week brings another Saudi playoff challenger as the Eagles have the Rams next.
That's it for my weekly power rankings, everyone. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.